When dealing with uncertainty, many people are frantically trying to reduce it or actively fight it. This leaves them exhausted and often with a false sense of security. Since uncertainty is a universal human experience, embrace it. And we've already dived deep into embracing uncertainty yourself in one of the positive experiments videos. In this video, we want to focus on leading other people. And when you're in a leadership position, how can you as a role model then help others embrace uncertainty? Well, there are 3 ways to do that. First, open up about what you're going through. It's okay for you to find things difficult. And this is particularly useful in case of situations like a pandemic or a massively uncertain change process that affects the entire organization. It's okay for you to open up about what you're really going through. And research on leadership in times of change by Higgs and Rowland in 2008, but also by Chima and Goodman in 2020, shows that it's particularly important to open up whilst at the same time holding this confidence that you'll be able to figure things out, that you'll learn how to, even if you don't know yet, that those are effective leadership behaviours in times of change. So open up. And in case you find it particularly difficult to open up about how you're feeling, how you're dealing with things, then just make sure as a first step, you're definitely not sugarcoating things, that you're not exaggerating things that are not true. Because people have excellent bullshit detectors and they'll notice when you're doing that, and that won't give them the trust and psychological safety that they need to do their best work. 2, be kind towards yourself and set some boundaries. So I noticed some of the team leads during the first corona pandemic that they actually set some boundaries and that they were kind to themselves and also said, okay, look guys, I need a moment to switch off at night, so I'm not going to be available and reachable after a certain time at night. And I find that setting these boundaries really, really help. But it's also the kindness that you show towards yourself. For example, I remember at the beginning of the corona pandemic when everything seemed together and we were all staying in at home, that it was okay for me, that I gave myself permission, that I was kind to myself to not try and be the perfect mum, partner and businesswoman at the same time. It was okay for our house to be less clean. It was okay for things to get messy. And it was okay to be feeling sad and really anxious at some times, because that was just the phase we were in. That was just the uncertainty. And it was okay for me to experience that. And I think what's really important is also for yourself to give permission to set boundaries. But when I started setting boundaries and when I was available, I noticed that my team members also started doing that, and that they also copied that behavior, that they also gave themselves permission to sometimes not feel great about the situation, but that they also took the time they needed to really recharge and to stay centered. And third, use the moment, particularly in highly uncertain times. And when you see that people are struggling, make sure that you use the moment. So whenever you enter a Zoom call or enter a room and you see that some people are looking tired or that there's a certain nervous energy in the room, use that and remark upon that. So you can start opening up and just share your story first, or just remark on what you're observing. Like, hey, I see that you're looking quite tired. And that is then the opportunity for someone to open up about how they're really doing. The experiment. Next time your organization is going through massive change and you haven't got the things where you're going to end up, open up about it and let your team know that you're in there, in the unknown with them, and that you'll have the confidence that you'll figure out a way together to move forward. Good luck opening up.